More breaking news this evening out of Soundview. Incredibly shocking video here shows a man apparently defending himself and then shooting one of his attackers. News 12's Greg Thompson on Commonwealth Avenue with a closer look at that video and what exactly went down there. Greg.
Yes, this block here of Commonwealth Avenue, right up near the corner of Westchester, is almost all apartments and families. Just since we've been here, we've seen a lot of them coming outside, many of them with young children, asking just exactly what happened here. As far as what did happen, it was right over there across the street, right in front of 1240 Commonwealth Avenue, a little before 1 p.m. We will show you that video, but we do have to warn you, this is not easy to watch. In it, you can see that man in the orange shorts who looks like he's holding something in his left hand, going after the man in the blue sweatsuit who's on the ground, along with that other man in red pants who's also holding his phone. A source tells us he was actually live streaming this entire thing.
Oh, no!
Now, after the man in the orange shorts takes the guy in the sweatsuit up against the wall, watch as he reaches into his sweatsuit. It looks like he can grab a gun. We froze the video there, but you can hear 4 gunshots, with the first one looking like it hit the man in the orange right between his shoulder blades. Now, both the shooter and the man in the red pants ran off at first, but then the shooter comes back to just see exactly what had happened. Now, people in the area told us that they did see the shooter run off after that around the corner on Westchester towards the subway station. Cops have been here trying to talk to people in the area, get into the different apartments while keeping that stretch of the sidewalk here taped off until just a little after 4:30 p.m. where they cleaned it all. The area is pretty much all clean now, not even any cop cars left here. Now, as for the person who did the shooting, obviously no arrests have been made at this time as far as we know. As far as the person who was shot, not a lot known either. We're told that he's 27 years old and is currently at the hospital in critical condition. For now, that is latest here in Soundview. Greg Thompson, News 12, the Bronx.
Hard to imagine all that violence was being live streamed.
The guy that he had shot was a dude who goes by Cash Out, and he would sadly pass away a short time later inside of the hospital. He was also a well-known rapper in his area. Here is one of the snippets to a song he posted to his page.
I be laughing as a joke. 17 bad, like damn, got tongue, got smoke. That gon' give up the low. Cause I'm really outside when you see me just throw. A lot of just see me then fro. But the bullet's too hot, so the beam on his nose. Look, gon' mention my name like I care about the age. Like what? We gon' saw me late. Talking on V, I get put on the frame. They don't got po with what's his game. Another one cop died by the train. Now I'm in the river with the game. Smoke 17, he a son. No, I can't lock it, I block. I had to get it.
Now, my first thought after seeing the viral clip is, are they going to count this as self-defense? Because I know in the state of New York, the gun laws are so strict, and to get a solid self-defense case, you would almost have to be on your last breath before you can defend yourself with deadly force, which is insane if you ask me. If K-Flock beat his body, this guy should definitely win this case, right? But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm really curious to hear y'all's takes on this one. After finding out the news that Cash Out had passed away, some of his friends started to react to the devastating information. Cash's close friend, who goes by Fat Packs, wrote, "Nah gang, we was just talking on the phone. What the fudge, Cash?" Then he posted a picture of him waiting in the hospital saying, "I'm here for you, Mud. Ninjas ain't your man's B. I'm here dolo with you and your mom."
Shalom, first and foremost. I'd like to give all our praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, by Ahchyam, Yahushua, by Ahchyam Kakodash. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father who the world calls God. His name in Hebrew means he exists. And Yahushua is the name of his only begotten Son, who the world calls Jesus Christ. His name in Hebrew means he is delivered. By Ahchyam is in the name of Kakodash, the Holy Spirit. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings unto the sister and this push forward in the truth of the four corners of the earth. I want to say shalom to your brothers and keep pushing. And a double shalom to the Israelites that's looking like the other nations and just shark watching. I want to say shalom to your brothers and sisters as well. My name is Dewar from GMS Line St. Louis Camp. And I'll come back at another video. And in this video, I'm entitled this Ahchyam, Control Your Anger. I can control your anger. So what you got is this rapper name goes by the name Cash Out for E. And so this is a video that went viral because it said that he pulled up on his op, him and his so-called homeboy, right? And they jumped him, and he ended up fatally getting shot. All right, and his homeboy fled the scene. You know, and so yeah, this is what happens. You know, when you can't control your anger, and when you hate your brother in your heart. You know, you pay for it with your life. And that's just what Jake don't understand nowadays, is that you ain't supposed to hate your brother in your heart. And when it goes into your brother, that means your fellow Israelite, you know? But, you know, you can apply this to Israelites of the world too, you know, taking the low and being patient with one another. Okay, you can apply that in the world. But you only, if somebody like put their hands on you, how like this guy in the video did, which he already knew he had a gun from the beginning, and he knew he was gonna kill those dudes, or at least try to. He got one of them, but yeah, and now that guy ain't here. All right, he's gone. He's in the spirit world because he didn't know how to control his anger, and he decided to put hands on somebody, you know? And you have every right to defend yourself if somebody put their hands on you, is where I'm getting at. You know, just as long as nobody put their hands on you, then it's pretty much petty anyway, you know? Because that's one thing Jake is good at. Jake is good at talking shit and getting a reaction out of you and, you know, making you so mad that you want to do something to him. All right, but you, Ahchyam, out there, we got to learn how to control our anger, and which I'm learning that myself. You know, because a lot of times it's just a demon on that person to try to get you out of character. You know, you end up putting your hands on somebody and possibly going to jail or whatever. It's just not worth it. You know, there's going to be plenty of time in the future for all that. Because, yeah. And this word that we preaching, you know, pretty soon it's going to turn physical. Because the Lord is going to turn up the hunters. All right? And I'm not doing this video for any monetary gain, just strictly personal. Just strictly educational purposes only. Under the Fair Use Copyright Act of 1976, I'm within my rights. So I just wanted to hop into a few precepts, and Lord willing, this is edifying. So Proverbs 16. Matter of fact, I'll start at 29. A violent man enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. I say a violent man, you know, you want to be tough and all that. And which, yeah, there is a balance with everything. Like with Esau. Like with Esau, you're going to have to get violent with him. You know? But it's not the time for that right now. Right now, we are sheeps. So we got to act accordingly, because we have to push this word. So we don't have time to be getting in scuffles and going to jail, because as you can see, it can possibly be fatal. Okay. Verse 30, he shutteth his eyes to devour forward things. He moveth his lips. He bringeth evil to pass. Right. The hoary head is a crown of glory if it be found in the way of righteousness. Yeah. Verse 32, he that is slow to anger is better than a mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh the city. All right, so you got to be slow to anger. You know, you got to stop and think before you just react emotionally, because men of Yahweh Shemiah Shah don't do that. Okay, and yeah, and I'll be the first to tell you that it's not easy. Okay, it's not easy at all, especially Jake, because Jake know how to press buttons. And that's why you got to be mindful of the people and the company that you keep. Okay? You should be hanging out with brothers, or for the most part, you should really be by yourself. You know, reading and studying these scriptures. Okay? Because there's always something to learn. There's always something that you don't know or that you need to brush up on. Yeah, because none of us are masters. There's always something to learn. So let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 8, and verse 15. And it reads, "Travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee, for he would do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly." Right? So, yeah, that guy that was with him, I heard the guy that was with him, that was he was basically instigating and egging it on. You know, hyping him up. See, because a real friend would be like, "Nah, bro, it's not even worth it. Like, let's just go, just leave him alone." If he would have did that, he would have still had his life. Okay, verse 16, "Strive not with an angry man, and go not with him into a solitary place. For blood is as nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow thee." Right? So, God. So you got to be mindful. Like I said, you got to be mindful of your surroundings. You know? And if you believe in Yahweh Shemiah Shah, you literally know all things. You know when the energy is shifting. You know when somebody trying to game you or snake you. Okay? And if you ignore that, then they can pretty much cost you your life in these times that we're coming into. So that's why it's important to learn those lessons now, before it becomes fatal. Like, I'm going to quote that movie Friday. Like Pops, John Witherspoon, that played Craig Daddy, which is played by Ice Cube. He said, "You win some, you lose some, but you live to fight again another day." Right? Hey, and it's real. Because the test that Yahweh Shemiah Shah give you, you don't always pass. Okay? Sometimes you fail those tests miserably. Okay? So it's important to learn those lessons, because, like I said, we coming into a time like where if you fail those tests, it can be fatal. Like, for example, and it's not to say that you're not a man of the Lord, but hey, you just foolish. Okay? You had that prophet that I think it might have been in 1 Kings 13. Yeah, he went into the land, and it was told to him that he wasn't supposed to eat anything, but he did it anyway. And then a lion ripped him to shreds. So yeah, that's the time. That's the type of time that we coming into. Okay. So it's important, like I said, to learn those lessons now. Like learn when a so-called brother ain't right. Who might be a undercover nigga. Okay, that's going to be crucial. Or even some people that come up that might end up selling you out. Okay, so this is Psalms 37 and 8, and it reads, matter of fact, I started 7. "Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who was prosper in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass." Right? So wait patiently. And that's pretty much what this thing is all about, is waiting upon the Lord to cast forth judgment. And I know, hey, it's tempting, especially, as a man of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, okay, or as just a man, period. A man has an ego. Like, for example, like if a man disrespect you, you have to fight for your honor. or your pride, because you don't want to be viewed as a punk or whatever. That's the thing. Yahweh Shemi Shah wants us to put that all behind us and just wait on him. And yeah, like I said before, it's not an easy thing to do, but it has to be done. Like, for example, who was the main person that did that? Yahweh Shai. And Yahweh Shai had spiritual power. So he could have killed all Jerusalem if he wanted to, and just only saved the people that believed in him. But that was a test from Yahweh, okay? Because ultimately it was prophesied he had to be that perfect sacrifice to redeem the nation of Israel back. Verse 8, cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, right? For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth, right? So cease from anger and forsake wrath. You gotta, like I said, you gotta stop and think, man. Hey, if I do this, what is put myself in jeopardy? And yeah, these demons out here, man. Like, I had a guy at my job, multiple people at my job, do disrespectful things to me. Yeah, sometimes I went at them, but then again, I'm like, well, wait a minute, I can't really do that because I could lose my job, or just end up looking stupid, or go to jail or something, and that's what you gotta realize. You gotta realize, hey, these people got demons on them, man. I can't end up. But like I said, if anybody put their hands on you, you know what to do. Because, brothers train and stuff like that. Like myself, I train in combat. This is Jeremiah 16:16. It reads, behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord, and they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them. From every mountain, from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. For my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes. And the first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land and filled my inheritance with the carcass of their detestable and abominable things. Right, and that's what the Lord said he's gonna do. He said send for many hunters, I like Yahweh Shai got Peter, I believe Peter and Andrew. Don't quote me on that. And he said, I will make you fishers of men. Okay. And yeah. But soon those fishers are gonna be turned into hunters. And you people out there, you're not going to be ready. Because the men of the Lord, we are very shaped in the mind. Okay? Because taking all this shit and taking it low, they can become very depressing, if that makes sense. And eventually, you want to crash out, but you know that you can't. You gotta control yourself, okay? This is Proverbs 12:17. It says, recompense to no man evil for evil, provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Right? So if it be possible. And yeah, it's times like where I had to check a motherfucker. Or, let an Edomite or let a nigga know. Yeah, of course. But it said if it be possible. Verse 19, dearly beloved, avenge not yourself, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, said the Lord. Right, and that's what you always got to keep in your mind. Man, shit, I can, box or Wing Chun somebody. But the Lord can destroy you mentally. The Lord can bug you out. And it's times like where we go into the chief place of concourse where we see a lot of these bug outs. These bug outs that come across the camp, or these bug outs that we see on the internet, these crash outs. Okay? The Lord can get you like that. You can become a Pegatron. So let's skip up to verse 1. And it reads, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove that which is good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. Right? So you have to present your body as a living sacrifice. So that means that you are an example to the world of how a man of the Lord is supposed to carry themselves. And yeah, and I just have a testimony. It's times like where I done took the low in certain instances and the Lord fought for me. The Lord probably allowed a person to leave a job, or even amongst false brethren, the Lord avenged me. And you have, what's another situation? Oh yeah, or that person might just feel stupid. That person will feel stupid, and look like that they don't know how to control their emotions, and they don't. Okay? So calm, man. Kind. And that person that once disrespected me, they was trying to be my friend after that. Yeah. I think that's a scripture. Matter of fact, let's give me that. I think it's in Proverbs 16. Yeah, 7. And it reads, when a man ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Right? So he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him, man. So kind. And yeah, so that's that. I think, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and end it off with that. I hope you, Ahchyam and Ahchyam, learned something. So I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, by Ahchyam, Yahushua, by Ahchyam, Kakodash, Shalom, and Abba.